All right. We have an alliance defending freedom thing. What is this? It seems like an astroturfed. Yeah. It seems like some sort of money backed thing. We haven't ever watched a video from these guys, but they're not very long videos. A lot of these got sent to me. I wonder if we just looked by like most popular. 551 views? What the fuck? 1 million views. They don't get any views, and then sometimes they get tons of them. What? What's their most popular? Bullied by its state, this homeless ministry won't back down. Banned for their beliefs. How government punished a family business. When college discriminates against conservative speakers. Wow. Is America giving up on free speech, chat? I think some of them are promoted. It seems like some of these are organically getting views. They fall off a cliff, though. Like, right... I'd say the 3 right here. And then look at this. Just plummets. Weird. They have lots of free speech. Let's see. Forcing churches to fund abortion. The real cost of the Equality Act. Ooh. You guys are going to crush it in sports. Transes. Free speech denied. School bans girls' Jesus Loves Me mask? Uh-oh. Healer compelled to deal in death. A COVID vax person. We can do better than mere tolerance. Wow. Forced to promote abortion. Standing for the freedom to pray. I like these. We are Americans. You got your new apartment? Hell yeah! Congrats. Congrats! Alright, which one are we doing, though? Should we just do the most popular one? Bullied by its state, this homeless ministry. A ministry? Huh. Or do you just want to do the most recent? Public universities and free speech? Yikes, no, never mind. You pen men on the street? I say we do that one. Let's do men on the street. Alliance defending freedom walked upon UPenn's campus to talk to folks. Do you think it's gonna go well? I don't. Do you think they have an e-boy like PragerU? I hope they do. Let's see. Let's turn it down a bit.
Today we're at the University of Pennsylvania asking
e-girl
students what they
Bernadette Tazy, Alliance Defunded Fleases.
think about having male athletes who identify as female compete in women's sports. UPenn has been at the center of a recent controversy with
Tucker White with 100 biddies. I'd like to make an announcement. It's opening day for baseball. That's all. Hell yeah. It is officially 3 minutes into opening day. That's true.
the male athlete competing on the women's swim team. Also, see what happens when we ran into that athlete.
They're going to harass the athlete? Jesus Christ.
Leah! Hey! Can we talk?
Do you have a minute? But this is happening all across the country, and it's a growing national conversation. Let's see what they think. Are you okay with being on camera?
I like the sweater.
Totally, yeah.
All right, okay. Do you think that men have...
That's Paulo Pascal.
any physical advantages over women in sports?
I'd say, like, in terms of probability, like, yes, like, there's, like, a greater population of men who'd have a weaker capability than women over like a sport.
Physiologically, they probably are capable of like putting on more muscle and just building muscle easier. And also, you know, they just have like larger builds generally.
And I would say in terms of physique, like one thing that I've been under the impression of is that men have an easier time developing like their upper body strength than women. So I feel like in some ways, yeah.
Obviously, this doesn't take into account if someone is, you know, taking estrogen and the effects on your body. But also, I think the more important aspect to consider is I don't give a shit. I don't care. Let trans people compete in sports. It really doesn't matter. It's not like trans people are just destroying everybody at sports. By the way, Leah won one of 3 events that she was in. 1 of 3. That's not domination. It was the longest one. Maybe she just has better endurance than some of the other ones. Again, like, there's so many people that just have genetic advantages to sport, and I don't think a gender gap is one of those. But what I do think is, if you think that trans women who are really good at sports, because it's always trans women, it's not trans men that are really good at sports, of course, because then can trans men compete with the men at basketball even though they're technically shorter and weaker? Can we do that? Can we allow trans men in sports? Question mark? Like, why not? Maizelbub. Thanks, Dark Beast, for the 46 months. It doesn't make any sense. No, not weight class. That's stupid. Not to call you stupid, but it is. It is dumb. It's, you don't need weight class for sports. What you need to do is just be like, okay, everyone gets to play. Stop gendering sports. Done with that. Obviously, we're nowhere near that. But seriously, if someone can play with the other people, and let's not get it twisted, obviously, cis guys tend to have, like, they're usually taller and usually broader than people who aren't cis guys. And that happens, right? So it's not a big deal. But if someone can compete with those people or other people, fucking go ahead. Yes, sometimes. But also, like, I know lots of trans women, for instance, that are not athletes. I have no idea why there's this conception. Like, again, Hannah. No shade to Hannah. Not exactly a weightlifter. You know what I mean? Hannah is not exactly the buffest individual. Never was. Never was tall. What do you mean? But if Hannah wanted to play sports on a girls' team, like let's say that Hannah had an alternate reality where she was blessed with the language and understanding and support that she needed to come out at when it felt right, right? If she wanted to join sports, I mean, why wouldn't I let... I just don't see... Am I taller than her? Yeah, by a lot. What? So let's make weight or height classes so halfling me... No, it's not... You can't do weight or height classes, guys. Not all sports are like that. What, are you going to have only the fatties team for bowling? What are you talking about, guys? No. Weight and height classes are dumb. We don't need to do this. Every time it boils down to some sort of like, we're worried about people's sizes and physiologies and shit. No. Just let them go play. It's high school. It's college. Go do it. It'll sort itself out. If someone is so good at their sport that you think they can play with the boys, right? Because that's what they're worried about. Then send that person over to play with the boys. I'm sure, because there's girls that play football. Like, eventually we're just going to get to a point where gender stops being a thing that we give a shit about in regards to sports. Sports can be very based on this. Obviously, there's lots of money tied up with it. I mean, like, and women's leagues exist, and there's going to be some pushback. Eventually, though, like, just go about it with, okay, this is an aptitude test, basically. Can you play with these people? Hannah's quick and scrappy. She is neither of those things. She is literally neither of those things. You're wrong. What are you talking about? No. Hannah is small and soft. There's no... Scrappy. Shake my fucking head. What are you guys pretending to know about what is happening here? Oh, they like the meritocracy. I don't fucking know, dude.
Yes, they do.
They don't care about men's physical differences. I'm 5'10". That's not exactly a great height for, like, high-level basketball. You can get by, but you gotta be a nuts athlete. You know what I mean? There's dudes that are 7 feet out there. Are they somehow, like Brittany Griner is a cis woman. She is currently in Russia being held as basically a political prisoner for having some weed. But, like, sorry about that, Brittany Griner. That sucks. But she's huge. She's a super big person. She towers over people. She's a cis woman, and she dunks on folks. That's just what it is. She's just bigger. Should we make her go play with the men because no women can be that big or something? Like, what the fuck? What are you talking about? It doesn't make any goddamn sense.
have an advantage because their physique is different than women's. So yes, they do have an advantage.
Physically, I think, yeah. And that has been proven by scientists.
Just like physically, I think men and women are built differently, and so that's just kind of how it works.
Genetically, I would say, like physically, obviously testosterone and all that stuff that backs up behind the fact that men are physically stronger than women.
Well, it's not really a matter of what I say.
Oh boy.
Factually, they're taller, greater bone density, muscle mass. Like, what I say doesn't matter. It's just factually true.
This guy really wants to meet Ben Shapiro. Look at him.
Do you think men's and women's sports should be kept separate?
It doesn't matter to me. Whoever you guys want to have fun, just do what you want, I guess. Like,
I think it's better if we keep it separate.
Oh,
I don't know if it was safe for women, if they play like a wrestle.
This motherfucker would get destroyed in a wrestling match. Like, what are we talking about here? Bone density. It's the bones!
Versus men.
I don't think there should be any barriers to men and women competing
Facts.
together.
Ah, good thought. This one's really being debated right now, I know. I don't know, honestly. I don't know enough, yeah.
Okay. But assuming that we want women to be able to win in women's sports, then yes, of course.
Okay, so guys with this fucking vibe, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Guys with this vibe, stop talking about sports. I'm good. I'm going there. You're a beta. You don't get to. This guy doesn't play fucking sports. What are you talking about? Look at this fucking guy. With his blue jeans and his fake cowboy hat. Like, fuck off. What are you doing? You're watching anime, bro. It is what it is. Watch anime. You're not... Come on. Dead ass, you have not picked up a fucking basketball in your life. You don't get to have opinions like this. You don't get to. If you pick up a basketball and you look clumsy with it, no sports opinions. You don't get them. That's just what it is. Sorry, guys. That goes for all of you, by the way, not just this beta. You just don't get sports opinions anymore, even if you're right. Leave it to the rest of us. Okay. Leave it to the fucking himbos. We got this shit. Easy. Easy. Everybody gets to play. Trans people get to play sports because they like to play sports. I mean, why am I going to tell a kid not to play sports? Fuck it. If they're good enough to play with other people, then have them play on that team. I don't care.
Did you ever compete in any sports in high school or any like community sports or anything?
yeah, no, so I did varsity basketball
Gets an opinion.
in high school, and then I not ran track. I was in the field team, so like I threw javelin.
How would you do against...
Okay, track isn't a sport. I mean, it's an athletic, but it's not. Come on. I had a bunch of friends in track and field and stuff and like cross country. It's like, yeah, I mean, you're very in shape. It's definitely hard. Stop it. You're still fucking nerds, okay? You're just running nerds. You're just nerds that run.
In
Stop
my
it.
league, like I was doing better than the other female athletes.
So I don't know if you know who Allison Felix is. She's a famous Olympic runner. There are 275 high school boys who in 1 year beat out Allison Felix's lifetime best. How do you think she would feel if there were boys that were displacing her, if they were sharing the same sport?
I think she would probably not feel the best, obviously working towards her goals and everything like that, but so maybe they should be kept separate. I don't know. Yeah.
This isn't a good argument for keeping things separate. Trans people are not, like, just crushing it at track and field, guys. It doesn't matter. Like, just have divisions of people however you want to organize it in whatever sport you have. Just don't exclude trans people while you do it. I don't care how it's organized at all. Like, the weight class thing only makes sense if it's combat sports.
Okay.
She has the world record. Okay, yeah, then God, that would be awful. Then I guess going back to the previous question, they probably should be kept separate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it would be okay. Like that's the sportsman spirit, I guess.
You think it would be okay for her not to make the Olympics?
No. That's not true. But she should make it to the Olympics.
Okay. So are you saying that we should keep men's and women's sports separate then? Because otherwise she wouldn't make it, right?
Again, this is like, it doesn't. This isn't the bar. It's track and field. We're not worried about. I don't give a fuck about her. I don't give a fuck about her. Hey, check it out. Sorry. I don't give a fuck about you as much as I give a fuck about trans people being able to just be okay in society. Fine with that. Like, who gives a shit about some random Olympian? Sorry, that random Olympian. I'm sure you're great. I don't give a shit about you at all relative to trans people's right to just exist and do activities that everybody else does. Sorry. It's not a good argument at all. What about this one person? Fuck it. Don't care.
If she matches the level, she can make it, right?
But they've already beat her.
Then probably yes.
So the NCAA is allowing males who identify as female to participate in sports.
Males who identify as female.
How do you feel about that? What's your initial reaction?
Yeah, that one's where it's tough. I'm also trans.
How do you identify?
I identify as just gender neutral, so they pronouns is fine.
Okay.
Yeah, that one's really difficult because there's the, inherent, like, physique differences like I was talking about.
I actually don't really see the problem with that.
One person who plays sports interviewed and is the one with the most base take. I don't give a fuck is the answer.
I'd say, like, if it doesn't particularly affect you, like, why do you really share an opinion in it?
Yeah, I think that when it comes to transgender rights, we should 100% respect that.
If someone wanted to destroy women's sports,
Stop.
to be a great way to do so. Don't think that's a great thing to do, but it would get the job done.
Brother. I can't. The vibe needs to be you need to hit a certain vibe or you just don't get to, okay? Vibe check not passed. Get out. Be gone, nerd.
Yeah, I guess then. God, I can't imagine, like, being like, no, you have to compete on the male team even though you're identifying as female. That feels wrong. But simultaneously, like, the differences between them, like, you were saying that high schoolers beat her record. So, like, there's just, I feel like they should be kept, in their, God, I guess gender at birth category.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wrong take.
Okay, interesting. There's a UPenn swimmer who is male, identifies as female, swam for the men's team for a while, and then recently joined the women's team. And so now is shattering school records, competing against the females that are also on the team. So how do you think, even just here on this campus, how do you think those women feel?
They're probably, again, discouraged by that result.
And look who walked by while we were doing interviews.
Leah, hey, can we we
Do you
talk?
have a minute?
Do you have a minute?
I gotta go. I gotta go to practice.
Okay.
I guess practice is important before a championship meet.
Have you
Yes.
heard about the UPenn swimmer, male who identifies as female, Leah Thomas, who's competing on the women's team here at UPenn?
How could I not have?
You know,
Jesus
I
Christ.
have no idea how the women feel about that on the team. I'm sure they're supporting of their teammate though, because teammate seems to be showing out to all the competitions.
Oh, the men win at women's sports. Who would have guessed?
I just want to be mean to this guy, and I'm not. I'm not being mean. I'm reformed. I'm not a mean guy. I mean, he's just... You know exactly what I'm talking about, right, chat? This guy right here, no place in this conversation. None whatsoever.
What's your reaction to that?
Oh, I think it's not fair.
Like seriously, how do you think they feel? I mean, this is not a hard question. They're probably not too happy.
You think this guy... Never mind.
To
Never mind. Never mind. I'm not gonna be mean.
Really hard.
I'm gonna be nice.
For much of their lives, only
Nope.
to have a competition that's stacked against.
Singing Reaper, thanks so much for the 14 months.
It's just a whole lot of.
The answer is no, Jake. He doesn't. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right. He doesn't.
Weird situation, sort of.
It's not fair, and if we want to destroy women's sports, which I don't think we do, but
Devastatingly maidenless. Devastatingly maidenless. Heart of Vecna redeemed. Say something nice. I like that his favorite color is blue.
if we want to destroy
Blue's
women's sports,
nice.
that'd be
Blue jeans, blue shirt, blue undershirt, blue coat, blue hoodie.
how to go about it.
Do you think more people should be speaking
Now, say something nice about this non-binary fashion icon. Great sweater.
up about this for the women on these teams?
No, it's not a fedora, okay? It's a cool cowboy hat.
Yeah, but it's really hard to skillfully do that without seeming anti-trans.
There's certainly some pressure that...
What was the question? I wasn't listening. Do you think?
Up about this for the women on these teams?
Really hard to skillfully do that without seeming anti-trans.
There's certainly some pressure that against people speaking out because
Is that a fucking umbrella? What is this? Is this an umbrella? When you have an umbrella prepped, you're a different breed.
because they'll be canceled, what have you.
Jake, look. What am I looking at? What am I looking at? He has a fedora. Dude, I don't think it's a fedora. That's not a fedora. No, this is a cowboy hat. It's like a tricorn. Yeah, he's like a sailor. He's like a little sailor.
It's a difficult one to call because we want to be inclusive and simultaneously we want to like respect people's true identities.
No.
And yet simultaneously you just can't deny the physiological advantages.
You can. Yeah. I think anyone that's on estrogen for any period of time, like that would, because by the time you get on estrogen, although I guess you don't have to be, so, but in the case of like binary trans women, often the case is going to be estrogen, right? So like, you really don't have to worry about that shit. Just let trans people compete. There's not like a more nuanced take to this. Are trans people valid? Yes, trans people are valid. Okay. So does a valid person need to be kept from doing anything? No. Like, so why would I have a trans person that wants to play a sport and then tell that person no because you were born in the wrong body or you feel a certain way and that I just feel bad. Fuck off. It's not a these are kids that want to just play fucking sports, bro. And in this case at UPenn, right? This is a young adult that wants to play sports and swim and meets and stuff and has a passion for it and should get to. Like, I have no problem with it. Just being trans doesn't mean you have to automatically not be able to participate with other people that's in gendered spaces. Wild stuff.
And so, like, you know, there's equality for trans people, which is clearly important, but there's equality for everyone. And like it shouldn't necessarily be one or the other. And I think that like with this sporting example, it seems
again,
like it is.
She only won one of 3 events.
It's kind of being a one or the other type situation. Yeah.
Sometimes people have to brave personal consequences. Because sometimes, you know, people are fired and whatnot for speaking out about this kind of thing.
So do you think that they might...
There is a body language difference between this interaction and that one. This interaction and that one. One more time. We're a little comfortable. Arm's length. I wonder why there's a difference. It seems as though the vibe check was also seen on the other side. Anyway.
Might be taking opportunities away from women that might be deserving of those awards and scholarships and opportunities.
Go get a maiden.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. In a lot of
maiden
ways,
repellent.
It scares me because
look at that scooter game, bro. I didn't know college students were scooting nowadays. Let me minimize that so you can see it better. It's behind chat. Look at that scoot. This guy's got a little scoot game going on. Does this guy have a scooter?
I think that
double scooting, dude. I want to be. Imagine going to college and having a scooter friend. That's pretty cool. That's nice.
If we want to have true inclusivity, it's about building bridges between people. It's about coming together and figuring out appropriate ways to do that.
Friends.
And yet, like with canceled culture, right now it's about demoralizing people and saying, "Oh, you don't have the same beliefs as me, so you're lesser than." And I think that like
that's what cancel culture
that's not any way to like change the general American psyche, because that's just fighting with anger, and anger doesn't lead anywhere except for to more anger.
That's a very privileged opinion. I mean, it doesn't seem like we're not coming from a little money here. I don't know. I could be wrong, maybe, but yeah, that's some lib shit. Anger only leads more. I love the idea of telling that to a group of like protesting black folks. Like, guys, can we just like relax? Can we just like pull it back a little bit? Ridiculous. One scooter equals 50 maidens. So many maidens. By the way, we have more very good fashion at this place. Look at this. Wow, what a good look.
That's just.
I'm for this. I'm for this look.
Just my personal opinion.
Unfortunately,
whoa,
there were a lot of students that said they were uncomfortable discussing this topic on camera, which speaks volumes about the fear people have when speaking out.
So most of the students we...
Okay, so all that proves, by the way, is that it's working. You should be scared to be transphobic. It's not a bad thing for bigots to be uncomfortable being bigoted. Okay? It's actually a good thing. That's pretty fucking poggies, if you ask me. I'm all about it. I am all about bigots not being comfortable with their bad opinions. Absolutely. Big W. IMO.
Talked with today acknowledge that there are undeniable physical advantages that men have over women despite testosterone suppression.
Oh, yeah. Despite testosterone suppression. not really true.
While many believe that males who identify as female should not be able to compete in women's sports, others said that they were undecided and that it's a conversation that needs to be had. But in sports, it's clear that biology is what matters.
Okay, has she ever played sports? What the fuck? Anyone here real tall but never played sports? You're gonna get trashed by me, and I'm not in shape right now. 1v1 me. You're 6'5" plus, and you've never held a basketball. Versus me 1-on-1, you're gonna get destroyed. You're going to get destroyed. And I'm not in good shape, and I haven't been playing basketball recently. Like, isn't it ridiculous? And you can be in good shape. No, I'll fucking destroy you. There's no chance. You have no chance. Because you don't know enough. Because it's not all about biology. Ridiculous. I would be surprised if you even scored on me. Y'all never do genital inspections in the locker room? Only in my locker room. Impossibly large orifice. Thanks for the 4 months. I mean, I'm 5'5" and never held a basketball, so I get super destroyed. That sounded like you would like it, though.
If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, share, and comment with your thoughts.
No, thank you. Well, that's the end. Well, that's the end of that. Trans people in sports, where do they get off wanting to enjoy themselves? You don't get to enjoy yourself. You get to be happy as who you are, or you get to play sports. You don't get both. What am I hearing? Can you guys hear that? Can you hear that? Like moan in the background. Can you hear that? Ellie's snoring. You probably can't hear it very well. Ellie's got a big snore. I don't want to wake her up. She's just a little being. No, stream's not over. We're still going. She's just snoring. She's having little kitty dreams. You know?